Data analyst is one of the hottest career out there. A lot of content creator, coaches, career advisors will tell you about data analysis, but they will tell you about all the good side. And in this video, I want to tell you the truth about what you don't get to hear about the data analyst career. So if you're looking to transition into tech and you're considering data analyst as a career, you want to watch this video because there are some important tips that will help you make more informed decision about the data analyst career. Stay with me. So my name is Noah and I'm a career coach. I've helped a lot of people around the world secure tech jobs and maximize their potential. Data analyst career can be a great career, but it's important for you to also know some of the cons, some of the things you need to keep in mind data analyst career so that you can make more informed decisions. Now I'm going to be discussing 5 things that you should know about data analyst career. Number 1, we need to first of all consider the role of a data analyst and what they do to actually add value. A lot of people looking to go into this career don't understand exactly what a data analyst do and how they add value. They just hear about the roadmap, hey, become a data analyst in 3 months, and they jump on it. So data analyst role is really about using data, making informed decision out of a large data set. So businesses will generate data from customers, from transactions, different type of data, and they need to make sense of those data. So data analysis is the process of collecting, transforming data, and providing actionable insight for businesses. A data analyst role is crucial to helping organizations gain insight on the data that they have. So organizations generate different type of data, from customer data to transaction data. All sorts of data are generated, business activity really, and they need somebody to actually help them make sense of those data. That is why a data analyst collects, transform those data using tools and technique, doing some statistical analysis on those data to come up with actionable and insightful information and report for business to make decision, actionable decision. So the role is very crucial and adds a lot of context, a lot of value to organization. That is why it's such a popular role, and that is great. But you see that a lot of people looking to get into data analysis role don't even understand how they fit into the overall picture. So they focus on tools. When you focus on tools, you don't see the bigger picture of how your insight will be providing value to the organization. Number 2, data analyst role is not a tech role. It's really a tech enabler role or a business role. And I explain what that means, because data analysts, by the virtue of what they do, gaining actionable insight from business data, need to work closely with the business to transform the data and generate report and insight for the business. Business don't really structure data analysts in the track of software development, which is more of technical, working with developers, product designer, business and project manager to build product or improve a process or implement a new system. So data analysts work closely more with the business based on already generated data to come up with those insights. So it is not a tech role. I know a lot of people will be shocked because I've said it's not a tech role. You can do your research, but people that actually work as data analysts, you can ask them what do they do on day to day. They don't really work with developers, testers to build product. They work with business team to engage with them to understand the data and come up with actionable insight and report for the business. So it is not a tech role, and as such, I think that business don't pay, especially entry-level data analysts, as much. Unlike software developers, it really depends. You see that most entry-level data roles are not really as paid as software developers. The next point I'm going to talk about, which is very important, I should also add that you may be wondering like, hey, why is not saying it's not a tech role? I know that you actually learn some programming language like R, Python, to be able to come up with those analyses. And you learn SQL, Excel, all those tools that help you. It's a means to an end. It doesn't mean that you're a tech role for the reasons I mentioned earlier. And that is why I think that is a bit unfair. Not because the company wants to be unfair, but It is just the nature of how the job is. You work closely with the business, not necessarily with developers and the technical guys that would build product. That is why it is not entirely a tech role. You use tech tools, but it's not a tech role. So number 3, the third point I want to talk about, data analyst as a transition career. So a lot of people ask me, oh yeah, I'm trying to transition and considering data analyst. Yeah, that all well and good. What I say to them, you need to know your why. What are you trying to achieve? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What do you really enjoy doing? And what are your goals? So if you want to use data analyst as that transition ladder, it is great, but you need to know that it is not just about learning Tableau, learning Excel, Python, etc., that you will be able to become a good data analyst. You need to know the business behind the data. It is absolutely important, and that is why you must acquire some business analysis skills in alignment with your data analysis skills, because business want to solve their problem. It's about problem solving. So many beginner data analysts just focus on learning the tools, and then they can't really come up with actionable insight or report that really adds value. It's not just about doing the SQL report and all of that. It's really about problem solving using data. So you want to have a broader view perspective about what the business does, engaging with the stakeholder. Some of the business analysis skills are required for you to be a super data analyst, that you would distinguish yourself from the competition. A lot of people fail to know that. They just learn, the tool and think, yeah, that's how I get started. That's what I need to know, and I'm a data analyst. You need to differentiate yourself. Number 4, because there's a lot of people out there trying to become data analysts. They get advice is as easy as learning Excel, learning SQL. As I've said, there's a lot of people who claim to be data analysts and cannot really add value to your organization. So basically, the market is saturated. If you're somebody that has done some work and has a project experience in different fields, I would not advise you to start with data analyst, because you need to leverage those domain skills and learn about solving problems holistically for a business, so that if you want to, which data analysis will be part of that process, but it will be more broader. So you're not just solving problem on a narrow scale using data alone. You understand how that data was even generated, what that data means, how that data connects to strategy, business system, business process, the operations. It is really important. You having those knowledge will differentiate you from a data analyst that have just taken some tutorials and learned about the tools, does not have the business knowledge, which is very important for you to be able to be an effective data analyst. So there's saturation on that level, especially for beginner data analyst. If you're competing there, it will be a long, frustrating experience, especially in the current job market where so many people are trying to get into that space. Know that you have to distinguish yourself and do a bit extra. Number 5, the impact of automation and AI. Going back to the roles and responsibility of a data analyst, it's really about making sense of the data for organization. And if organization now have automation and tools that in the current climate of AI, the age of AI, there are tools that can definitely transform those data into actionable insights and report, thereby reducing the need for more beginner level data analysts, which makes the competition, a bit more steep and even more difficult for you to get into the field. So as somebody that's trying to get into this space, you need to be aware that there are a lot of technology solution being developed to reduce, cost, and then thereby reducing the need for this entry level or basic skill data analyst. So you really need to differentiate yourself to add a bit extra so that you can position for higher competitive salary and then roles, as well as decrease the competition. So my bonus point to you, data analyst role is still a great role. You just have to be across all the pitfall when you're getting into this role. So to summarize, I talked about the fact that if you want to distinguish yourself, you need the broader business understanding, how business runs, the processes, the system, the tools, and not just focus on learning just data analysis too, because data is just one part of business operation. So you need to be able to understand more broadly about that. You need to acquire those skills so you can position yourself for opportunities and beat a lot of competition, right? The extra advantage that you bring to the fore. You need to know the impact of AI and technological advancement that is happening in this space. So you grow your career. If you're someone that really loves data and you want to focus only on data analysis, you need to start to build your competencies and experience to level up and explore data engineering, data scientist, data architect. Those roles, you find that those are the peak of the data family of job. But yeah, I find out that a lot of people, once they start to get senior data analyst role, they pick from that point and move to other roles like project management, business analysis, software testing and the likes. If you want to explore other similar career that can future-proof you and differentiate you from the stiff competition out there where you have a broader business perspective, reach out to me today and I'll help you get started as a business analyst, project manager, scrum master, product owner. And I should say, all of these roles have their own pros and cons. I'm just discussing all of these things so that you can have a broader perspective to make an informed decision. I'll speak to you in the next one.